Alright, so... Oh, I need the microphone to be moved closer. There we go. Okay, so... I have been thinking about the train network. So... I want the trains to flow nicely along the train. Yeah. I want the trains to flow nicely along the terrain. Yes, there we go. Those are the words. And I am just realizing... Okay, no, that's correct. That just looked weird because of the angle. Anyway. In my pre-release game, I actually just did a sky rail. And that actually looked pretty nice, admittedly. But it was just a floating rail. Actually, you know what? I could just show that. Like, you know, I'll just show that. Yes. We'll just show that on camera. Cause sure, why not? Quit to main menu. Gameplay. I don't really want it to autosave during this. Just gonna turn off autosaves. Load. We'll have a look at my, pre-release world here. Okay, there we go. Okay. This was my... Oh yeah, okay. This was my, Portarium, or whatever the stuff's called. Portarium factory. And as you can see, I have the rails just kind of floating here. I mean, I put a pillar there, but that's actually because there's a thing there and I was piping gas. So that's why that pillar's there. It's a functional pillar rather than a decorative pillar. But you can see everything's just floating, and I mean, in some ways it looks great. You can still see my coal plant there. I built it in the exact same spot. Well, just about. That's not really aligned to any grid, whereas my current one is aligned to a grid. You can also see I just have things going all over the place. That's actually a hypertube right there that I used to get in and out. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. You can see my rails are just functional. They kind of float there. It's a sky rail. I have this double helix system for changing elevation. And admittedly, in some ways, this looks good to me. I actually do really like the look of this, but it doesn't flow with the terrain. It just goes over the terrain. So it's kind of not great. So let me turn stuff off here so I can get it out of my way. Where's the resources? I think it's the radio tower stuff. Nope, it's not it. Resources, there we go. Boom. Okay, so now on the map that I've... What the? Huh? What do you mean I've never been there? I've totally been there. Like, what are you talking about? I've also been here. Huh. I think I maybe just found a spoiler because that... I have no idea what that rectangle is. I've been to the very top of that, but I don't remember this rectangle. That must have been a release change. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so these spots must be where they've made changes for the release. I've been there too. Like, I've been everywhere on this map. Like, all of it was explored. I mean, obviously I didn't, like, go out into the ocean or anything like that, but... Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here again. So, I'm going to try to make trains that actually flow with the terrain. And the difficult part of that is, of course, finding routes. And oh, you can see I have trains. This one, oh, this is one of my multi things. Okay, that factory cart. Wait, that's right in front of me. What's going on, factory cart? Did you get stuck again? I'm just getting all kinds of sidetracked here. Why aren't you doing anything? So, this thing is set up on a, I guess I can explain it real quick what the whole point of this thing was. So, my idea was when I was doing my early exploration in, like, Phase 3 territory, I wanted a way to kind of get around quickly without having to, like, do something with a train, because train's obviously not going to come by all that often when you don't have a whole lot out there for it to come by with. So I put this cart here and gave it a recorded path, thinking that it would just loop around that all the time and it would be great, and all I'd have to do was kind of just sit and wait for it, and I could hop into it, and that looks funny. Although I don't... Oh, there it goes. Yeah, apparently recorded paths don't run when you're in the vehicle, so that made it significantly less useful to me. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked here. We're getting really sidetracked here. So, yes, so the train system. I'm going to try to make it so it flows with it. Now, finding routes everywhere is kind of annoying and difficult, but luckily, the interactive web map that I've been using to find hard drives and everything, one of the things it actually has is it shows, like, natural road locations. Like here, this is a pretty good corridor for having a road. I believe it also shows going through here. And, like, it seemed like there was another place off here. You know what, let me just pull up that map real quick and move that to the other screen. Move to the other screen, thank you. Oh, so it actually suggests going through the waterfall. Okay. That's actually not a bad idea. It apparently comes out, like, over here somewhere. Just kind of go along here. So I think I'm going to try to set up my train network along those natural road formations. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a lot of work. And I'm probably going to get lazy at some point and just build a sky rail anyway. But hopefully it'll look nice. Hopefully I can stick with it and make it look nice. Man, I'm just starting on this and I'm getting strong F this vibes. So kind of the idea is that I'm going to try to keep the concrete platform that it's built on as perfectly aligned as possible, and by that I mean I'm just going to have it be perfectly aligned. But yeah, this height transition is a pain in the ass, and I'm having to do a tiny little section. Oh. At least the dimensional storage means that I have plenty of building material, so I don't have to continuously go back and forth, which was really annoying before. Oh, we got another height transition here. I think we can get away with a little bit further. Okay. Let me see, is this a 2? I think it's 2 for the moment. That's easily going to turn into significantly more. I think it may have just hit significantly more already. Okay. Maybe not. This is kind of starting to clip to the ground, so maybe a little bit further out. Yeah, this is gonna be a pain in the ass. Okay, so this part was an absolute pain in the ass. Didn't even connect those. And I don't know. I'm having some doubts about this. I mean, flow with the terrain. Sure, it would look nice, but like this was way too steep to use foundations on. This was the lowest the slope I could actually do with the foundations, but like do it on the terrain directly. Like I can just run it directly on the terrain here. So I don't know, I might give up on foundations and just run it directly on the ground. Like, look at this. This looks absolutely awful and is terrible and is what I needed to do to make this work. And I don't like it. It's not great. And then I'm looking at this, and this is gonna be another pain in the rear. Because, one, this is just too thin. I mean, I can get one rail through, but I'm intending to have 2 laid down for bidirectional travel. I'm not entirely sure. The map shows the road is this way. So, like... that's not a lot of room. I can have what, oh. Where'd you go? There you are. So what I can do, and probably will do, is just have one direction go on one side of the lake, and have another direction go on the other side. Maybe, like, make this some sort of impromptu roundabout. That might not be a bad idea. Yeah. I want all of my factories to be lined up on the same grid. So what I'll probably do is I'll run foundations in the sky to each of the factories to kind of make sure that they're all lined up properly. And just run the tracks on the bare ground. I think that's what I'm gonna wind up doing, because this is way too friggin' much. I've been at this for like 8 hours and I've only gotten this much done. Because I just keep working it and destroying it and working again, and it's just not coming out well. So like, if I'm gonna do foundations, it's gonna have to be a sky rail. But I'm just gonna have to run it on the ground. I just don't see any other way to actually realistically do this. This is this is far too much of a pain in the ass for me. Like, someone recently posted a meme in Discord showing 4 different categories of people who play Satisfactory, and it was like the architect who makes things look nice regardless of how well they actually function. The I can't even remember what the other category was, but second category was kind of somebody who does a little bit of both, runs more efficiently than the architect, but doesn't look as nice. And then third group is just the engineer that builds like floating factories with no walls. And that's me. So yeah, that's just what I'm gonna do. I can't do this. Okay, so I was running rails. This is going way faster than it was before. I successfully went from where that station is, which only exists really to provide power to the rails right now. Goes down here, goes through. I can't even remember. Where does it go through? Shit. Oh, here. It goes through here, over here. I think I actually go here, here, down here, swing up to here, through here, go over this, here, go on over here, and you pretty much can get it from there. I encountered this. Now, this requires power to open. Requires 120 megawatts of power to open. Now, what I could do is I could set up another station so I could draw power from the rail itself to power that up. But I was kind of curious about the augmentor. Where is the augmentor? Here it is. Here it is. Surface is too uneven. So what I want to know is this permanent? Like, if I make this thing, I mean, obviously I can destruct it, but does this permanently consume those summer sloops, or can I pull them back out? It looks like I get them back when I destroy this. Okay, sweet. So this is just completely free then. And I can do this. And boom. Oop, oop. Hold the handle all the way down. Get my hard drive. Okay. Cool. Nice. And actually, I should just verify that I did get those back. Yes, okay, I got all 10 back. So, the alien power augmenters are not a permanent commitment. I was kind of under the impression from the trailer that they were, or I guess not trailer, but you know, the explanation video on them. I kind of was under the impression that a alien power augmenter was a permanent commitment for these things, but that's apparently not the case. So that is pretty great. Okay, I have completed the loop. Ironically, I took this in the opposite direction in which it will be traveled upon. So let's throw down a train. Let's give it a try. Oh, that was interesting. Hold it. Well, no, I guess that was probably due to construction. Probably the light cone. Okay. There we go. Self-driving on. Let's go here. Yes. Save changes. Next stop is unreached. What do you mean? What do you mean the next stop is unreachable? I mean, sure, it goes around the entire map, but that is totally reachable. I don't understand what you mean by the next stop is unreachable. That's... I guess we're doing this manually. Okay. Now, I'm going to have 2 rails running, so it's a bidirectional travel. Each rail, of course, will be one way. I have to cut that out so I can get this rail here. Now, I haven't actually ridden on this yet, so I don't know how this is going to actually turn out. And it looks like this took me about 2 hours to do this entire ring, whereas the entire 8 hours I had spent only just took me on a small area. And we clipped through some trees and rocks and things like that on the way. Oh, I thought we injured that animal for a minute there, but apparently not. Apparently it was fine with getting hit by a train, which, you know, works for me. We got this area here. It's the cave. Oh, flip through that dune there. Oh well, that's fine. Now, this route is definitely much nicer than if I did a sky rail, so I'm gonna stick with this. This is actually pretty alright. I mean, obviously it's got some issues here and there that's going to need to be worked on, but I can work on that. That's not going to be an issue at all. A little bumpy there. That's kind of funny, actually. Not really sure what else to say. I kind of showed this area a little bit already, as this is... Oh, actually, no. Where is it? It's a little up ahead. It was in the desert. Okay. Now, there are some parts where the path isn't quite as open as I was hoping it would be, or as the map suggested it might be. But I can... That's not going to be too much of an issue. The 2 parallel lines don't have to be exactly parallel. I can have them. Oh, you know what? I forgot. We went past the coal plant. There was a spot where you could see the coal plant. Oh well, that's fine. That is fine. Yeah. That was the one where I pulled out the alien augmenter. I mean, technically, I pulled it out twice because there was another spot just before the cave that I pulled it out to get the hard drive, but nothing really interesting happened, so I just did that off camera. Got some spiders. Good to see they won't attack me while I'm in the train. I mean, they can't hurt me while I'm in the train, but you never know. Very wavy in certain parts. I guess that's kind of unavoidable. So far, no real major issues, which I'm glad to see. This looks way better than I was achieving with the foundations. It's way easier. Like, it's night and day difference. And a little floaty here, but kind of unavoidable in spots. I just looked at the recording. It's been about 6 minutes almost. So this is not exactly a fast route, but that's not too much of an issue, really. A couple of them guys. You know, I just realized those those poison guys are smaller than the non-poison guys. Did not realize that until this train ride. Kind of interesting seeing all the parks that I visited during my little adventures. Now, I would also like to run a power line along this as well, so I can use the zip line as a means of travel. I think that would be a real good thing to do. Oh yeah, this was the one that made me finally just give up on the whole foundations. Alright, not bad. That was a full loop. Sweet. Okay, cool. Wait, what? You dare? Wait, didn't I just... Okay, that was pretty much it. I'm gonna run another line, going next to it. I didn't realize I had this little blip here. I'm gonna have to fix that. Anyway, I'm gonna run another line next to it. Okay, I have completed a second rail going around the map, as well as a line of these large power lines, so I can just kind of grab onto it and ride. But now, the power lines have problems still. It took me quite a long time to get them just right, because there's some tricky spots where the angle is just really, really sharp and throws me off. But I finally got that all worked out, so that's good, but I still can't, like, ride on this AFK because, like, the monsters will knock me off. Okay, so I've been building a home station and started running the rails, and this here is one of the downsides to not using foundations, and I guess also floating sky rails is... I'm not sure how I'm gonna connect these up, really. I mean, there's obviously the lazy way. I can just connect them and call that good, but I don't really like crossing rails over. So, I don't like doing it. Come on. Thing's not cooperating. Maybe the other way. Maybe we can demonstrate this the other direction. Hello? Something? There we go, sort of. It's really bad, but whatever. Just for demonstration purposes. I don't like having rails cross over like this. We have 3 dimensions. I want to use them, so when I connect up these rails, I want like this rail to go over this rail. So that way a train coming, I guess, yeah, going on this rail would not be disturbed by a train moving on this rail here. Or by a train going from this rail to home. Yeah. And I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to connect them up. Okay, I have finished building up the intersection here. And as you can see, it's kind of this space turned out to be way too tight for me to actually work with, so oh man, that looks really bad. I'm probably gonna have to come back, revisit this at some point. And also I have some of this non-grid aligned foundation placements. I don't like doing that, but whatever. It sort of works now. You really feel like you're flying really slowly when you're up this high. As you can see, I have this rail going down there, and I've also gone through and placed signals everywhere, so it's now safe for me to have multiple trains running on this track at the same time. Yep. So next we need to look at the factory for basic ingots and things like that.